What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel. Now, before we get started with today's video, the road to 200 subs has now come to a close, and we're now on the road to 500 subs. Who knows, maybe we might hit 500 subs by the end of the summer. Only time will tell, but as I have said in previous videos, if this channel does get to 500 subs, I will open up this Korean LOB booster box in its entirety on the channel that I got from my partners at Collector Store. So be sure to check them out. Link and address will be in the description below. By checking them out, not only does it support them, it also supports the channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. On the hopes to potentially pull a Blue Eyes White Dragon, a Dark Magician, a Red Eyes Black Dragon, a Piece of Exodia, Monster Reborn, Pot of Greed. The possibilities are out there. However, if this channel gets to 1,000 subs, I will open up this first edition Toon Chaos box in its entirety on the channel that I also got from my partners at Collector Store, on the hopes to potentially pull a collector's rare out of this set. But it wouldn't be the first time I pulled a collector's rare, because I also pulled this. Freshly pulled out of my Genesis Impact box opening that I did last year is a collector's rare Beat Cop from the Underworld. This thing is absolutely gorgeous, you guys. The centering on the back is a bit off from top to bottom, but honestly, it really doesn't make much of a damn, because I am going to be getting this card graded, but I never came up with a good opportunity to do so. But with that being said, if you guys want to see these boxes get opened, maybe you guys want more episodes of WWE's Biggest Issue, maybe you guys want more episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh's Biggest Issue, deck profiles, card discussions, WWE topic videos, or maybe, just maybe, you guys want some premium live event predictions and results. Well, if you guys want all of that and more, my channel is the place to be. So if you guys are new to the channel, and I know that a lot of you guys are, because more than 80% of you guys are watching the content, but you guys aren't even subscribed. So if you guys are watching the content and you like the content and you want more of the content, and you guys are new to the channel, then make sure you guys make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, smash that thumbs up button on this video, and as always, make sure you guys are following me on all of my social media. My ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in, in the description as well. And I want you guys to post in the comments below answering the question of the day, which is this: which archetype are you guys looking forward to seeing out of Phantom Nightmare? Let me know down in the comments below, because for today's video, we've got more new cards in Phantom Nightmare, including actually what we're going to be talking about in today's video, a brand new archetype called Ashened, which honestly, looking at these cards, honestly, I think this would work perfectly with potentially the Albaz strategy, because I know that Albaz oftentimes can work well with the Bestial package. So this will be interesting to say the very least. I think tomorrow's video, I'm going to be talking about the world premiere cards that will be in or that will actually be in the set. And funny enough, some of the cards that are already in Phantom Nightmare, I've already talked about, which were actually jump promos. So if you guys remember those cards, including Mystic Potato, and there's a few others as well. So if you guys remember those cards, I've already talked about those cards on the channel. so there's no need for me to bring it up. But with that being said, let's get straight into it. Kicking things off, we've got Vetoes, the Eruption Dragon of Extinction, which is a 9-star Dark Pyro with 2800 attack, 1500 defense, and both of its effects are once per turn. And the first effect reads during the main phase, if this card is in your hands as a quick effect, you can target one card in a field zone, special summon this card to your opponent's field, and if you do, destroy that card. Then you can add to your hand or set one Ashened continuous trap from your deck. Second effect reads, if this card is sent from your opponent's field to your grave, you can destroy all monsters on the field. You can only use each effect once per turn. So what's crazy about this is that this is essentially a kaiju for the entire deck. So the idea would be for you to pop, I'll say, I need like a good example. I'll say your opponent's Fusion Gate. Let's say that. Let's say they have Fusion Gate, and you have this card in your hand. The idea would be for you to pop it, then summon this card to your opponent's field, and then just randomly add or set a continuous trap from your deck, which is actually kind of crazy. And not only that, this is also a Raigeki. So it's a Kaiju Raigeki, which I don't think you've ever seen. I really don't think we've ever seen anything like that before, but that's actually kind of pretty cool. Next up, we have King of the Ashened City, which is an 8-star Dark Pyro with 1400 attack, 1400 attack, 2700 defense. And the effects read as follows. If Obsidian, the Ashened City, is in the field zone, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon this card once per turn this way. During your main phase, you can special summon one Ashened monster from your hand except this card. Or if your opponent controls a monster with 2800 or more attack, you can special summon it from the deck instead. So funny enough, Vetoes has 2800 attack. You can basically special summon one Ashened monster from the deck if you kaiju your opponent's field spell, which is actually kind of cool. So this card is essentially a Cyber Dragon for the whole deck, which there's really not much else to say about it, to be quite fair. But honestly, that's pretty cool. Being able to just thin out the deck really fast just by special summoning a monster from the deck, and to be able to set a continuous trap from your deck. That's essentially a +2, right? Just right off the bat, which that's pretty good. And not only that, it also gives you access to attempt to see some of your more some of your hand traps, and pretty much like any other like combo extenders that you may have in the deck, which is actually kind of cool. Speaking of combo extenders, this next card I truly believe could be the combo extender of the entire deck, and it's known as Hero of the Ashened City, which is a 7-star Dark Pyro with 2600 attack, 2100 defense, and the effects read as follows. If Obsidian, the Ashened City, is in the field zone, you can special summon this card from your hand. You can only special summon this card once per turn this way. During the main phase, as a quick effect, you can target one power monster on the field, destroy it. Then, if you destroy Vetoes, the the Eruption Dragon of Extinction by this effect, you can place one Obsidian, the Ashened City, from your deck face up in your field zone. You can only use this effect once per turn. So, again, Cyber Dragon. Cyber Dragon, you get the... It's a Cyber Dragon, and not only that, if you pop vetoes from your from your opponent's board, you essentially have yourself a terraforming. Actually, no. Let me rephrase that. A metaverse. Sorry. You actually have yourself a metaverse, which is actually kind of cracked, if you ask me. I mean, there's really not much else to say about it. But moving on, next up we've got Priestess of the Ashened City, which is a 4-star Dark Pyro with 1200 attack, 1300 defense, and the effects read as follows. And it's basically the same thing. If Obsidian, the Ashen City, is in the field zone, you can special summon this card from your hand, and you can only do it special summon this card once per turn this way. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add one Ashen card from your deck to your hand, except this card. Basically, you have your Stratos for the whole deck. This is basically your combo starter for the whole deck. If you open with this card plus the field spell, you essentially just automatically win, depending on what your extra deck looks like, to say the very least. But moving on, I think there's 7 cards in here. There's 7 cards in this bunch, so we're flying through these really quickly, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, moving on. Next up, we've got the field spell itself, Obsidian the Ashened City. And the effects read as follows. Face up special summon monsters your opponent controls become pyro during your turn only. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. During your end phase, you can target another copy of this card in your grave, place it on the bottom of the deck, then draw 1 card. If this card in the field zone is destroyed or banished, you can special summon 1 Ashen monster from your deck. Again, with this archetype, you're thinning out the deck to the extent where you're able to make your board that ends with Baron, Axis Kotaker, Underworld Goddess, Unchained Abomination, and potentially what? IP plus another Ashen monster to go into like what? To go into what? Potentially a potentially a Decotalker or something like that. There's a lot of really interesting plays you can make, but you also need to have tuner monsters if you're able to somehow make a card like Baron or Draco Berserker of the Tenny, which Draco Berserker is a fucking house, especially on Master Duel. It's a house. It is a house, you guys. But next up, we've got Awakening of Vetoes, which is a quick play spell, and the effects read as follows. Place 1 Obsidian the Ashen City from your deck face up in either field zone. Then, if your opponent controls a card in their field zone, you can add 1 level 5 or higher Dark Pyro from your deck to your hand. For the rest of this turn, after this card resolves, you cannot special summon monsters from the deck or extra deck except Pyro monsters. You can only activate this card once per turn. That's pretty good. I mean, again, this is basically another version, another form of metaverse, which is actually kind of cracked. But what's even more cool is that this also acts as your Rhoda for the whole deck. If only if your opponent controls a field spell on their board, which is actually kind of crazy. Here's the field spell. This is what the field spell looks like. And then here's the quick play spell, which is pretty cool. So that's actually pretty insane. But now we have to talk about the last card, and it's known as Ashened for Eternity. Which, as you guys could probably tell, it is a continuous trap that reads the following effects. When this card is activated, you can add Veto's the Eruption Dragon of Extinction or one Ashen monster from your grave to your hand. You can target... That's the first effect. The second effect reads, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls that you own, take control of that monster, then you can make all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls lose attack equal to the targeted monster's original attack. This attack change lasts until the end of the turn. You can only use this effect once per turn. And you can only activate one of this card per turn. So that's actually kind of cracked. This is essentially probably one of the nastiest floodgates for the entire archetype. Essentially, it becomes it essentially becomes a cursed version of Snatch Steal, which is pretty insane. I will say this archetype has a lot of potential. Archetypes like this is what can oftentimes become a meta deck, but let's be real, 9 times out of 10, this archetype might end up just becoming like a tier 2 deck or something like that. Unless if there was like a way, unless if there was like something that unless if like someone used this archetype with the Bestial package or something like that. Maybe even with or perhaps with with Volcanics, maybe? With Volcanics, maybe? Or maybe with some other like Pyro based deck or something like that. Because Bonfire out of Maze of Millennia is gonna be has already risen in price, which is just sad. Just sad. But with that being said, guys, that will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want more card discussions in the future, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and follow me on all of my social media. My ads will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.